Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode from my Roman campaign. I am Ahdohgahlius Magnus. Now, I have ended the turn from the previous episode, and I was expecting actually to start this turn or this episode with a battle, but well, first of all, let's take a look at the events. Okay, Ligurians, they have been destroyed. Good for those jerks. They would not accept my continuous proposals to be friends, and now they've been destroyed by, I'm guessing, Massilia. And we have Lemuria again, which gives me more Latin cultural influence. Okay, let us go to the meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about. This is my ally army. They marched here, all the way here, and the army that was in this area right here pissed off. And the small army that was in the city, it also pissed off. They still have this fleet here. And I, I'm a little bit concerned. And the reason why I'm concerned is because I have played before where they've had a fleet and the fleet has landed, but only part of the fleet has landed, and the rest of it gets bugged, and there's no way for me to attack them, and I end up having to, one way or another, end the battle, either losing an army or having to kind of get out of the game and restart, and then just auto resolve. So what I'm going to do in the event that I lose this allied army, I'm going to bring my Roman army within striking distance of the city of Eel. Okay, and for your viewing pleasure, I am going to, hopefully, unless this is just going to be a walk in the park, I'm guessing it probably will not be, but I am going to actually attack with this army, and I'm going to fight it out. And how big is that? Yeah, that's a big fleet. They do have fire pots. And for your viewing pleasure, I am going to attempt to besiege the city. Now, if it gets bugged out, I will just sacrifice this army, only because I have another Roman army right behind them, and this is just my ally army. I also do have ballista in this army, so hopefully if they do bug out, I can use my ballista to crush the fleet, while it's sitting there, not moving, being stupid. Hopefully that'll work out just fine. That's kind of my plan, okay? If worse comes to worse, I can admit defeat and lose the army and whatever, okay? I don't want to, X out of the game entirely, and I'm even though I would hate to lose a battle and lose an army that way, sometimes you just got to take one for the team. I would like to get you a battle, and I did not get you a battle in the last episode, even though I was hoping, against all hope, that I would finally get a battle in. But hey, things happen. So, all right, dry, good. Okay, and this is exactly the same layout as Thapsus, except I believe at Thapsus or Thapsus there was a hill here, if I remember that correctly. So yet another cookie cutter, but we will do what we must do. Now, typically, fleets tend to pop out over here, and they have very little room to land. So either they'll have to split their fleet, or they will have to split their fleet, or they will not be able to land it at all. Yeah, this goes all the way to right here. So they have very little, very, very small shoreline with which to land their fleets. Their fleet, sorry, okay? And they also have a garrison fleet. So what I'm going to do is, instead of going into Triplex Accies, because this is an ally army, I am actually going to, let's see, let me take a look at this. I could do a double Accies. Let's see, what does that look like? Double Accies. Who goes here? Who goes here? Okay, let's see what this looks like when it's actually more in a more functional layout here. We have 3 groups of cav on the left. That maybe what I want. I don't really know. My shock on my right. Ballista on the left. That's great. I like that. But I don't like where my peltasts are. I do have spears on my wings, which makes my right a little bit weaker than my left. But this is, again, if this were a field battle, I probably would change this up quite a bit. I put my spears. Actually, what I had planned, had this been a field battle, is to put my shock cavalry. I do believe I have 2 groups of Soci Equites Extraordinary. I do. I was actually planning on putting my shock cavalry on my right and much of my melee cavalry as well, bringing all of my spears over to my left to protect my left flank, where I put my ballista either in front in the center or in the rear in the center, and then put maybe 1 group of melee cav on my left just to guard that flank. But since we did not have an open battle, I was thinking it was going to be a field battle because they did have that enormous stack there. They pulled that back, and now we don't have that. So I am going to leave it in my infantry in a double line. But what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm going to take them out of this formation. Okay. And I'm going to put my general in group number 1. Okay, we're here. Okay. I'm going to put my ballista. That's going to be battle group number 2. And I am going to leave it on my left. Simply for the fact that I would like to fire at ships and kill some fools. Okay. I am still, I think, going to bring my shock cavalry over to my right. Simply because they get caught in melee. They are not as effective. I mean, and they're cavalry, they're mobile. Or mobile, or however you would like to say that. I say mobile, but I guess you could say mobile as well. And I'm going to put my melee cav on my left. Okay, now this is a little bit different from what I had planned. My spears, I am actually going to stack kind of like a column, I suppose, a spear column, okay, on my left. Just, I mean, they don't have, actually, that, I don't think they have any cavalry within the city, so actually my spears may just be here. If they do come out, they may come, their garrison army may come out, and I could basically hold here on the left and then hit with my melee cav, or I could bring my shock cavalry around and strike as well. But I'm probably going to, my idea right now is to use my shock cavalry to hit them in the flank within the settlement, or if they do come out, like last time when I fought it, I believe it was Thapsus, where they came out and then I would have this, you know, they were fighting right here, much of the scrum was right here, and I could actually use my shock cavalry to pound on their flank. So that is my plan for now. We shall see whether that holds up or not. I want to take all my infantry, Control I, take them out of formation attack, and I'm going to, let's see, my Suki Hestati should, you know, they're all, yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay, I don't like that. So I'm going to actually pull them out of this, okay, and bring them up a tad. And then I'm going to make that battle group number 5. Okay. And then my Suki Extraordinari, I will put them in the line behind them. Okay, so it is still a double line, basically, or similar to a double Aki's. Okay, but it's going to be more close. It's going to more closely resemble the double line formation. And my spears, my auxiliary infantry, you will stay on my left, although I will move you up. Okay, I'll move you up, potentially over just a tad. So we have a little bit of a gap there for everyone to maneuver. And finally, my Peltasts. Peltasts, I'm going to put you in the front, just in front of my Soki Hestati. And General, you will stay at the rear. Shock cav on my right. I think we're ready to go. Ah-ha. You fools.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
Let us destroy your fleet as soon as possible. They are over here, so I will have to, at some point, I'm guessing that they will actually land over there. It'd be really stupid for them to come all the way over here, so. Let's see. We are firing. This is a fleet, so it is going to be a bit more difficult to destroy. But what I'm going to do is actually bring my auxiliary infantry over here. They don't have to run. But I'm going to put them there just so we don't get stuck. You know, if they hit us on the flank, if they are able to land, because again, these ships are much more resilient than transports. And I am going to bring my melee infantry over here, but I'm going to keep them back just so they don't get fired upon. I'm going to bring them actually over here, behind my infantry. And I have to keep an eye on the garrison. So I did turn the music down just a tad in some of the speech, just because I felt as though, especially when I was speaking with faction members in diplomacy, members of other factions, I just felt that it was really, really loud, at least in my ears. I don't know for you, but in my ears it was extremely loud, so I could use Flaming Shot. I don't know if that would cause more damage on these ships, to these ships, or not. Have we hit anything? We're firing at the broadside here. We should be able to hit them. Let us hit you. We're the most within a range. They have only crappy javelin units, so I think we don't have much of a... There shouldn't be much of a concern with getting beaten down. Let's move our cavalry over here. I mean, having our cavalry, if they engage first, beaten down. They are having some of their fleet come over here and some of their fleet come over there. If they land, big deal. I don't care. Hopefully we'll be able to sink at least some of these ships so that fleet will be able to land. Or at least get close enough to shore. Can you please hit something? Have we caused any damage whatsoever? Come on. Fire! We hit something. Are you firing? We are firing. We are simply not hitting anything. We are going to cut them off anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. Let's just... let's keep firing, whatever. And bring my cav. And let's strike. Is it bugged out? Is it bugged out? You fools. Okay, well, this group of infantry, cavalry can hit that, those javelin men. This group can hit this group of javelin men. And this one can hit this group of javelin men. Can you hit them and not go over there? Thank you. It should take almost no time at all. Are we hitting this thing at all? Come on. Make contact. I'm not really worried about my cav. I thought that the standard shot was supposed to be far more accurate. Oh, there's a hit. Nice. And we fought. We did not sink it. Okay. They are firing at us. It doesn't really concern me too much. Don't care. And we... Oh, wow. Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to watch that ship get split in half. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, now we have new targets, so hopefully we get to see more stuff getting split in half. More ships getting split in half. Hoplites. Is there general over here? He is not. Oh, pity. Okay, well... I am not going to hit them with my cavalry, obviously, because they have, I believe, hoplites and whatnot. But hopefully we will be able to do some damage with our ballista and our spear units. But I'm guessing we're going to have to bring some of our infantry over there as well. You guys are basically won. I don't really care if a few guys get away. This is a settlement battle, so they aren't going to survive. At least not for... well, they'll survive, but... not for long. Alright, so hopefully my ballista will be able to hit some of this fleet. But I am going to actually... Who is getting shot at? They're getting hit by... Oh, that... Pull these back just so they're out of range until they actually land. And I'm going to bring my Succi Extraordinari over here to reinforce. Simply because I do not think my auxiliary infantry will be able to hold out against... hoplites. They're not very many. They should be very outnumbered, extremely outnumbered. But, hey, I do not wish to needlessly waste... I don't really care so much. They are easy to replace, but I don't really want to needlessly waste people. I mean, why? That would be dumb. Needlessly waste my infantry, my allied army. That's kind of stupid. All right, well, let's move you over here, so you can at least fix them into place until my Succi Extraordinari get over here, and I hope they get over here quickly. We should be able to catch them on the beach and just annihilate them. And what is their garrison doing? Is it coming out? Let's see here. Back out and see. Where is their garrison? They are standing there, which is kind of ridiculous, but if they come, I have to keep an eye on them. Typically, I do keep at least what I gather from other folks, other gamers, other Let's Players. I tend to actually keep a much closer eye on a tactical map than most players tend to do. That is not a universal rule. There have been times where I've missed the boat with that, but basically I have to save my ballista now. Well, ballista, you're not doing anything now, so we can basically move you back behind my Succi Hestat. No, stop. Yeah, actually you can move back. They can't really burn my ballista, so Succi, can you hit these guys, please? Do not die. That was a micromanagement problem. My fault. Okay, let's move my Succi also over here. here. Okay, over here. Let us destroy them as soon as possible. Alright, let's get my auxiliary cavalry over here. We should be able to just overpower them because there are so few compared to my cav. But we'll see. Hopefully my infantry will be able to win that without too much trouble. You guys can actually stop, because I will put you back on your ballistas soon, once we finally beat these fools. They are chasing my cav, which doesn't really bother me too much. We should be able to just mob them. I mean, they will kill a few, but they should not be too successful in, you know, beating my cav. Simply because I outnumber them by quite a bit. Ooh, they do have javelin men. Okay, well, I'm going to bring this group of cav then. Basically what I'm trying to do is just fix their hoplites here until my infantry wins. And can you get back? Like now. Oh, thank you. Okay. And hit these fools. Because you hit them instead of going over to their right. They're hitting me in the rear here, but now everyone's flashing. Everyone's flashing. They have already been broken here. Their hoplites were simply outnumbered. It wasn't that my cavalry is so amazing and wonderful and great. It's that they simply outnumbered them. I think destroyed their morale. Now they're wavering as well. So this won't take too long. This is just a fleet, and as I said, this mod does not increase the size of fleet units. The numbers does not increase the numbers within the units. Okay. Have we won over here? It appears as though we have. We're just mopping up. So I'm going to get my Sucky Extraordinary out of that fray. They can walk up slowly. We're going to bring out my Peltasts. And now we're going to begin our assault on the city. And we're going to just walk everybody up. They've already been kind of, you know, some of them at least have been involved in melee already. Okay, let's see. We got my Sucky Histadi. They will be the first to get in the fray. And now let's see. I'm gonna bring my. I'm not too concerned about my flanks now because I have this, you know, I have this coastline here to defend it pretty well. But I'm going to still use my auxiliary infantry to just kind of hold that flank there. Have we destroyed everyone? We've beaten everyone. I believe so. Those boats appear empty. Those ships appear empty. So I am now actually, because I have my left secured, going to put all of my cav together in the same battle group and bring them over to my right. And yes, you can run. You'll have plenty of time to relax and recuperate once you go faster. Once you get over there, because I won't be using you right away. Okay. Shall be moving. Okay. You're not going to move. I did say all of them, right? I did say Battle Group 3. Okay, I guess I did not have them all selected. Well, anyway. They're all selected now. They're moving now. General? What is this? This is Rally and Inspire. Okay, well. Move my general up. He'll probably die. My generals have a tendency to do that. And let's see. We're getting everybody into position. Now, my plan here will be very similar to what happened at Thapsus. Okay, so again, it's a bit redundant. Again, I was hoping that this would be a field battle and not another settlement battle, but, you know, the Carthaginians are being poops on a stick. Poops on sticks, or whatever. Oh, it's getting a bit choppy. The animations are getting a little bit choppy. I apologize for that. It's, again, not my frames per second. I'm using fraps, so there shouldn't be any problem there. It appears to be the animations. Why in Sam Hell would you line up like that? Okay. Move you up. Okay. We cannot see their forces, which is interesting. This is what? These are my Extraordinary. Well, I'm going to send in my Peltas first and see if I can get some idea as to where their forces are. Peltas, you can run. We found something. We have found what? Well, now they've disappeared. Okay, well, what is this? Ah, they do have cav. They do have cav. Oh, nice. Okay, well, I'm going to pull my Peltas down then and back. We are going to bring up my spears. I was expecting to not have to use them now, but they do have cav left. Sorry, a bit of lag there. I apologize for that again. Spears, we're going to put you here. Why will you not go over here? Okay, I guess there's an incline there that makes it impossible for them to go there. Okay, like that. All right, that's good enough. And I want you to run. Yes, I do. We've got kind of a gap here, and I don't like it. So I'm going to put my general back, and I'm actually going to bring my Suki Histadi up first. And it looks like they're going to stand and fight right there. So Suki Histadi, you can be here. I could bring them over to my left. Sorry, to my right. But I already have my cav there, and I want the main infantry battle. Oh no! Don't lag. Why are we lagging? If this continues, I'll probably have to. Okay, it's not happening now. So leave my. Okay, the reason why I'm not going to bring them over to my. They are coming out of the settlement. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to have to get involved here. So let's take my cavalry and plow into this group of cav. And you are going to have to get your asses over there quickly. We should be able to crush this cav pretty easily. We do outnumber them by quite a bit. And they are coming out now of the settlement. So, let's take a look at what they're doing first here, okay? I'm pausing just because I can. And I also want to kind of describe what's going on here. They are actually using their cavalry. I did not even realize that they had cavalry. Thinking if they had cavalry, it would actually be on their fleet in their fleets, but that makes no sense because you don't have cavalry fleets. So, anyway, they must have had cavalry as a garrison, which is interesting. I did not remember seeing that. At any rate, it's not a problem. That's basically why I have cavalry and my spears on my flanks. So good thing I did that. You have to kind of prepare for just about anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't want to get my swordsmen stuck in with cav, so I'm hoping to crush their cav quickly. Use my peltas. I'm going to pull them back to here, okay, and get my infantry stuck in here on their cav. Probably two groups of spears on their cav. This group of spears I'll probably throw into the mix, as well as my Soki Histadi, just to get them stuck in. Okay, get these units, you know, immobilized so they can't really move very well. And then basically my plan is just to hammer with my cavalry on their left until they break. Now, if necessary, I will throw in my Extraordinary, although I'm not certain whether I'll need them yet, but we shall see. Okay, so let's listen to slow motion just to kind of watch what's occurring here. You don't really. They have javelin men and mob. Well, it looks like this. Speaking of mob, this group of Soki Histadi is going to get mobbed. So let us throw in my Soki Histadi here. I'm guessing that their cav is going to want to hit me on the flank. So now we're going to throw my spears here, this is really stupid of them. I mean, they should have stayed down here where they could at least move around. But once they get stuck in with my spears, they really have no place to run. They can be on the high ground all they want. That's not going to save them. I'm going to move this group of spears over here first, just to make sure that this group of cavalry does not come back and hit my Soki Histadi in the rear or in the flank. How's my cavalry doing? All right, we wanted to hit their cav, but we're hitting their hoplite, their fleet hoplites from their fleet. So let's cycle my cav out. Hopefully they'll get out quickly. Let's go back to regular speed. Actually, I kind of like slow motion just because it kind of gives everyone the kind of feel of what is occurring. But I'm going to pull my ballista back. I don't really need them. Take them out of fire at will. Oh, they're not in fire at will. Well, that's great. Okay. And we are probably going to need my Extraordinary, if nothing else, just for the shock value of having a tactical reserve, which the Romans were known for, of course. So I'm going to take my Extraordinary, a little bit of tongue-tied there, and pull them up. They can throw Pila, they can have a fun time. This group of Soki Histadi is probably going to get destroyed, which I'm not too concerned about. But let us now plow back into their cav. I really want to break that cav. If we break their cav, it takes away all their mobility on their left, which gives my cavalry free range. And again, my cav outnumbers their cav by quite a bit. But at any rate, I'm going to inspire. Okay. I didn't really realize that would inspire everyone. Okay, well, okay, wonderful. I would actually just rather inspire you because you're losing decisively, but you move faster. And what is this? That was what? Oh, rally. Okay, this is inspired. Oh, all right, that works. And I'm going to take this group. Yeah, I'm going to need some extraordinary here. And we're going to actually plow into this gap. They have a bit of a small gap here. Okay, that's going to cause them some major problems if they don't fix it. So I'm going to throw in 2 groups of his Sucky Extraordinari into this little gap here and hopefully exploit it, which will help my cav and help that group of Sucky Histadi. Extraordinary, you're going here. Actually, I'd rather have you... we're actually controlling that, so that's not a problem. Y'all can fire at will. Actually, this group is getting... How is this group doing? They're winning decisively. Okay, winning combat even. Alright. This is what? How are we doing over here? We are combat even. Well, once we hopefully destroy their cav over here, we are combat even and combat even. Well, we should be able to destroy their cav. We'll take casualties, but auxiliary infantry, sorry. Their main job is, with spears, of course, to counter enemy cav. So, how was our cav doing? Killed 200. Let's go back to normal speed here. And check out some of the animations, some of the battle animations. We should be plowing into them. Yeah, we are. This should not last too much longer. Much of their infantry is from their fleet. We are we're not hammering and anviling them. We are flanking them. But it works very similar to a hammer and anvil. And that just has to do with the ridiculously stupid... Oh, could you not fire at will? Could you stop? Oh. Peltus, I don't really need you anymore. Okay, so you can kind of pull back. I don't really need you. I may need you later, but are they breaking already? They're all breaking. Alright, well looks like this group of Sucky Histadi is getting rammed. So let's hit them with more Extraordinari. Are they running away? They are running away. Well, Cav, I have something for you to do. Very nice. Are they running away? I do not see their banners. So it appears as though they are shattered. Completely shattered. Okay, well, we're still fighting their cav. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Hopefully their cav will break soon. Yeah, they've already lost 100 men. So, I'm sorry if my microphone is picking up the rain outside. Suddenly the skies opened and we're having a cloudburst right now. So infantry is really my auxiliary infantry is really having trouble over here with this cav. I don't know why. They should be beating this cav, although Carthaginian cav is actually pretty tough. Alright, we're really beating them down. I'm not too concerned about this. I would like to get a couple of melee cav units, my auxiliary cavalry, in on this cav. Hopefully we can beat them down and finish that, and we can win on the right quickly, and relatively easily. And then, who knows what? Well, then we'll be able to turn our focus on this stubborn group of cavalry that is somehow defeating my auxiliary infantry. I suppose I could throw a group of Sucky Extraordinary on them, and I shall. That'll probably help out, at least with a morale boost for these guys. I do have my window closed, but it's August here, and in August it doesn't rain, it pours. And I mean that literally, not in the figurative way that people say that. Shock Cav, can you do something? How about you shock these fools? Just for fun. Just for fun. You're stopped for some reason. You should continue to... Something I wish that they would fix here is that, you know, cavalry should be a bit more proactive. I can understand if infantry, after fighting along, you know, melee combat, you know, that they don't really feel like they would rather celebrate and throw their hands in the air and do whatever they do, whatever infantry does. But cavalry should be a bit more proactive, I think. I feel like they should, at least by default, be able to attack the closest unit, especially after, you know, those units are already routed. But such is life. We can't have what we want. Are we winning over here? They're confident. Combat even, melee combat even. Wow, that is some really badass Carthaginian cavalry, and you guys are losing. Joe General, I'm sure you'll die. If you get in the range of anything, you'll die. So, what are you doing? Okay, you're running over here. Now let's roll up this flank. I'm going to send another group of Extraordinary over to this cav. Okay, and we do have some cav over here. Actually, what I might do is bring my cav over there. These two groups of cav. Let me select them first. Not sure which ones they are. Let's bring them over here as well. And plow into these fools. And General, can you rally and inspire? Inspire that group. And we're bringing our cav over. Now this group of infantry, you guys can hopefully plow in here, do some damage, bring our shock cav out, our Soci Equites Extraordinari, and now let's hammer at the rear of this hoplite group. Carthaginian hoplites, or hoplites. This should basically do it. Are you still not chasing people? Do I have to beat you down? I mean, really? I just shattered. I think we basically won. I mean, once we finally beat that group of cavalry and finish off their center, which should happen soon. It should be over with. Then use these as reserve. And I still have one more group of reserve Soci Equites. Sorry. Soci Extraordinari. They are not Equites. They are not cavalry. But this group of cavalry is just boss. Holy crap. They are exhausted. I do not have second wind. I do have wind. I do have inspire, but not second wind. All right. Well, we're going to have to slowly chew this up here. Just chew them up. Let us. What is this? Median javelin men. Have I got a surprise for you? All right. Let's take a look at this cavalry charge. Hopefully, it will be spectacular. This looks ominous. I'm actually going to charge into my own man, which doesn't do any damage to them. Oh. That ought to make some fools cry. Run away! Yeah, they didn't take very long for them to waver. I think they had only 16 left in that unit, but I mean, still. Shock cav against javelin men. It tends to work in the favor of the shock cav. Speaking of shock cav and melee cav, can you guys please? Can you please? I mean, just for fun, you may as well have something to do. Attack them. And attack them before they get away. The javelin men are weak here. Wavering. This group of hoplites is pretty tough. But hoplites are a pretty decent defensive unit. What is this here? This is a group of hoplites. They are wavering. Sychem? Okay. Have we won? Okay, they are wavering. Basically, we've only lost a few. We lost only. Oh, that was quick. All right, let's murder them. Can we murder them? Let's murder. I like murder. Okay. The cav should be just beating them down. Oh, good lord. Good lord. Move you back. See, is there anybody else to kill? Well, again, that was not the most epic of battles. It was not the most entertaining of battles. I hoped that it would be a field battle. They would come and attack me, and I actually hoped that I would have lost it. But we won, and we won rather easily. I lost only a few auxiliary infantry against that Carthaginian cavalry, which doesn't really concern me, because they will replenish, and if they won't replenish, well, I can always just get some mercenaries or something. So, yeah, my ballista really didn't do much damage. I was hoping that they'd be able to hit that fleet, but I guess either we were too far away, or they're too inaccurate, or those ships are just too tough, too invulnerable. All right, well, stab to the shoulder. That'll do it. And now we raise you. I see that, and I will raise you. Okay. That part of that fleet did get away.
Ready for orders.
And yay, we have another settlement. All right, let's go through cycle through what we have here. Logging. Is that level tier 1? Okay, that's tier 1 is okay. Do that. We'll give you that. We'll be changing this up later, okay, but that's what we'll give them now, just because public order is going to be a problem. This army, what shall I do with you now? Well, you're standing there with your proverbial thumbs up your proverbial butts, but anyway, that's fine for now. All right, let's get our agents over here. After I move my agents and move all my armies, and I'm happy with it, I will end this episode. Let's see, Turda. Should I move her south or move her north? You can actually see most of the... This is who? This is who? That's Pergamon. Wow, who's this? Dude, new. Pergamon. Well, Pergamon is pretty badass. What I think I'll probably do, because I've already made contact with Pergamon. I'm guessing the only thing that's left is the Seleucids out there, at least on the coastline. Is move them to the north, move her to the north. Sorry, and hopefully we can make contact with some more. Wow, with some more factions. I say wow because Carthage and Nova Carthage are taking it in the shorts. The Arverni are really, really badass, I have to say. I will have to declare war on them, which, I mean, is a bit sad. Not really, but I was hoping actually to, remain friends with them for a while at least, but they are just too boss, so I'm sorry for saying boss. That many times. Anyway, I'm going to... how is public order doing here? If I move them out of the settlement and into the ocean... -3... Well, what I'll probably do then is just move this army back. And I will, for the time being... I was going to actually attack into Hispania, or potentially over... Let's see, let's just click over here. Is this... This is the Arverni as well. Wow. All that is left is basically Cartaba, and they have a bunch of fleets, which could do me trouble, could cause me some headaches, but and if all they have, if that is just fleets, they're not going to be able to really do much of anything on land, obviously. So, not too concerned about that at this point. I'm very surprised that the Arverni have been so incredibly tough. Okay, what can we build? Can we build anything? It is winter, so my public order is down 1 point, and I don't have any armies there, and I really do need to start upgrading some things, but for the time being, this is fine. Let's see. What? I think I was going to have... Yeah, the military wharf is in Brundisium, so what I'm going to do here is have a shipwright in Carthage. That'll take most of my money. What is that? That doesn't take anything away from me as far as public order or food, so that is perfectly fine. Okay, folks, let's see. I'm just going to check diplomacy here very quickly. I don't think I did diplomacy this turn, and I really can't do much. The Adrusian Kingdom? You're fighting Macedon, or Macedon. And Macedon is friends with Athens, or at least they were. Ah, they're not. Are they friends with Sparta? They are not. So, okay, Adrusian Kingdom. Let's be buds. Let's make money off each other. Or something. Okay, money. Trade? Yes. More coin for me. Alright, and non-aggression pact? Very nice. Okay. I think that's all I can do. Pictones, I'm guessing you will not befriend me. They are friends with the Arverni. Yeah, no. Okay, well, I'm not too concerned about the Pictones. I can't trade with them anyway. Ah, Bithynia. Or Bithynia. Will you trade with me? You're at war with a lot of people that I'm at war with, so let's trade. Hooray! More money. Non-aggression pact. Hi. Huh. Hi. Hello. Okay. I will take some money for that. Yeah? Oh, you rejected that. You reject. Okay. Well.
Remarkable and sadly unneeded. My lord cannot be bought like a camel in the market.
Cannot be bought like a camel at the market. Okay, well, I could demand that much. Could you give me that? Okay, good. Well, at least we have that now. Okay, let's see. Do we have anybody else? It appears that that would be a negative. All right, so I will end this episode here. I thank you once again for your time and for your viewing. Please do remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I am Ahdohgahlius Magnus. Goodbye.